Hi, welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. Today I am going to show you how to play a bunch of math games using dice. If you remember from my last video, if you watched it, that there were several things that I said were must-haves in your classroom, and today I'm going to show you how to utilize some of them. We're going to use dice, we're going to use Unifix cubes, and we're going to use counters for these games. Not all of them. Some of the dice will be used in every game, and these other items will be used in some of the games. In addition, I'm going to be using a 10 frame, and I'm going to be using step books. And if you don't know what a step book is, it is this. It can be used this way or this way. I'm going to show you how to make these and how to use them. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my document camera so I can show you, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so our first math game, this is a partner game. So each person is going to have one of the dice, and you're going to be using these counters. And so this one is simply number sense. So you have two partners, each of them roll the dice. Whoever gets the larger number, if you're working on larger numbers, gets the point. And then this one is this person, and then whoever gets to whatever number you agree on first, 10 wins. So they're getting counting in two ways. They're getting counting with the dice, and they're getting counting with the tokens. The next part of this is to make it a little more challenging. You can have them adding now. And so, they would each roll their respective dice, and then they have to add their numbers together. 4 plus 1 is 5, 4 plus 2 is 6, this one's the bigger number, they get the token. So that is one way to do this. So now this one is number sense, it is also adding. Now you can also bring in Unifix cubes here, and you can have them, here I'll just take this away. This one can be done individually or with a partner. So what you would do is you would roll the dice, and I have 6 and I have 2, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to model that with my Unifix cubes, and I'm going to take my 6 and I'm going to take my 2 and I'm going to model that. And if you want to take it a step further, then you can take a board and they can draw it out, or not draw it out, but write it out, and they can go 6 plus 2 equals 8. They can also model it out by imitating the dice. Plus 2 equals 8. All right, so that's another way to use Unifix cubes to model their numbers. So they're seeing the numbers in 3 different ways: on the dice with the dots, Unifix cubes with the counting, and then using their boards to write it out. All right, so let me just move this aside. Another thing that they can do is they can play the same game, but this time they're using, let me turn it, hold on one second, let me turn it this way. So each of these 10 frames would belong to a person, one of the students, and so then they would roll the dice. Each of them would roll the dice, and whoever won would put a token on their 10 frame. In this case, it was a tie, so we're going to do it again. Oops, I got another one. Oh my word. Okay. That is, let's do it this way. Let's do it with 2. So 5 and 12. This one's a bigger number, so they're going to put their token down, and then they're going to continue on. So we've got 4 and we've got 6. This one puts their token down. So the idea is whoever fills up their 10 frame first, and that's another version of the game. All right, the next one we're going to use is we are going to use a step book. So I'm going to move this over. I'm going to show you a step book. The idea of a step book is that you're making different pages, and you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. And these are used for a lot of different things. There's a lot of literary uses for this as well, but we're going to use it for math today. I'm going to show you first how to make it. I'm going to use different color paper so that it's easier to see on camera. So I have these different colors of paper. Whoa. And I'm just going to show you how to set it up. So you're going to put one paper down, put the next one just a little bit below it, maybe an inch. The next one about an inch below that. and the last one 1 inch below that. You can use this as big as you want, but it gets harder to staple the more you do. 4, I find, is the right number to use. And then I'm going to just, uh-oh, how did I do this? Oh yes, like I did like this. Oh, in my sample, I used 3, I think. Let me see. Here, let me take one away. Let me do it with 3. I apologize, I did not make one of these in advance. Oh yeah, three's better. All right, guys. So now you just fold it over, and then you're going to staple it. Let me put that on the floor. Let me come back over here, and I'm going to staple it right here. So I usually do it with white paper. Like I said, I was just using colored so you could see the different pages. So anyway, 3 works the best. So here's how you use this. What I would do is I'm going to just use, I'm going to use my dot stampers for this one as well. And I'm going to roll the dice. And I have 2 and 3. So let me show you. I'm going to do the first one. You'll notice I made a part of a sample. And I titled it my number book. You can title it whatever you want. And my first one, I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 2. And so I took my dot stamper and I copied what the dice showed. 6 plus 2 equals, and then they count it and they write their answer. So same here, 4 plus 1 equals 5, and I modeled the die and I copied it. So let's do one together. 3 and 1. So I'm going to copy my dice. Dice. I looked it up, both are correct. Now, it used to be one was plural and one wasn't, but now people use them so interchangeably it no longer matters. Okay, 3 plus 1 equals 4. All right, so that's what I would use these for. And then I have one more game, and that game needs a board here. And the idea of this one is I'm going to teach them greater than and less than, excuse me for this, greater than or less than. And so the first thing you have to do is teach them what this sign, excuse me, I have something in my throat. Teach them what this sign means. And what I always do is teach them that this is an alligator mouth. And the alligator is very hungry and he wants to eat the bigger number. He doesn't want the smaller number. And so what we're going to do is we're going to roll the dice. You've got a 2 and a 3. And I teach them that you're going to put the 3 in front of his mouth because he would rather eat the bigger number. And so this is a game they can play with the dice too. Figuring out which number is bigger, which one has more dots. And I think that is it. All right, you guys, we just learned a whole bunch of games, and I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you can use this in your classroom. If you found this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share.